Matt Ryan added to his early season MVP resume, and the Falcons are 4-0, but boy, was it a close one. I'm joined by senior editor Eric Edholm to break down our snap judgments from the early games on Sunday in Week 4. And Eric, 99 yards to go for Matt Ryan. They sets him up in field goal range to beat the Panthers 30-28. What did you see from this game?
I saw a bad Carolina Panthers pass defense. There's really no excuses to be in that situation and to give up that first play bomb on a slow developing play action pass. Rookie Nakamura had the interception earlier in the game, but otherwise had a nightmare. They are shorthanded at safety, and that's pretty telling to me. And just for all the pass rush that Carolina dialed up earlier in the game, they couldn't get to Ryan on that final drive. They kick the field goal, they win the game. Panthers way back in the division, Falcons undefeated.
Yeah, you would think maybe the Panthers, a big game for them in Cam Newton coming off that Thursday night debacle against the Giants. And with D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, Cam Newton, they can't get that 1 yard on that last play that would have sealed the game for them.
Well, yeah, the decision not to go for it. I think if Newton had not fumbled on that play before, then they consider going for it. Instead, Ron Rivera decides to try to draw him off sides, can't do that. They punt the ball. And you really can't argue with the results. I mean, the ball went down to the 1 yard line. I mean, that's what you want in that situation. So he trusts his defense. You know, he tried to put it in Matt Ryan's hands to see if his D could hold up. It could not.
Tough loss for Carolina. I mean, to be at that point against maybe the best team in the NFL, but not pull off the victory. Another team that was a high-scoring, fun team to watch last year, really falling apart. The Detroit Lions lose to the Minnesota Vikings, who maybe one of the best teams in the NFC right now, the way they've been playing. Minnesota wins that game 20-13. Are the Vikings for real at this point?
Well, let's first start with the Lions defense. I didn't think it actually played that bad. I know Adrian Peterson ripped off a couple runs, but really it was on the special teams. And credit goes to those Vikings for being solid on that side of the ball. Didn't have much going in the past game. Did get some penalties downfield that I think helped move the ball. But I mean, this was really a game about special teams. 2 scores, 1 on a punt, 1 on a kick return. That's 4 TDs they've allowed in 2 weeks. Inexcusable. Danny Crossman, the special teams coordinator, is going to be made the GOAT, but Jim Schwartz, the head coach, is ultimately responsible for those units. They can't play this badly.
When you look at Detroit and the way they're struggling, it's hard not to look at Matthew Stafford's numbers, Calvin Johnson. Those 2 guys just haven't been able to get it together and put up the big offensive numbers. If you're a Detroit fan, how concerned are you right now?
Well, I was really impressed with the way the Vikings defended Calvin Johnson today. They got physical with him, which is something usually you can't get away with. Such a big physical guy himself. At one point, it may have looked like he was getting tested for concussion. They obviously held him in check. Stafford was rattled off his game, got pressure. At one point, they got it without Jared Allen on the field. So Everson Griffin, a guy coming off the bench, a well-timed blitz. And you know, if you're a Lions fan, you have to be concerned. You know, I mean, the run game's going to be uneven at times. The offensive line has shown its age, and Stafford hasn't been that electric passer he was a year ago. We've seen flashes of it, but not consistently.
We've seen that a lot around the NFL so far this season. Yeah. The defenses seem to be catching up a little bit. Those are our snap judgments from the early games. Be sure to stay tuned for our late game snap judgments right here at ProFootballWeekly.com.